Hey everyone, hope you're well. Our first teaser for the new map, like a video teaser for Riven Tides dropping April 28th has gone live. We've also got an entire blog to look at and some information about the trials that I'd like to share if you want to try and get the final trial skin. So we got this first sort of like promo shot from their Instagram, which shows 3 of the skins coming, which is pretty cool. So this will be in the Riven Tides update. We've got this very awesome looking skin in the front with some kind of crazy looking gauntlet, which is pretty nuts, I'm not gonna lie. And then on the left, we have this dude in some kind of space suit. You know, he's looking pretty protected from the atmosphere for whatever reason. And then over here, we got this Cyclops-looking character with a gas mask. I'm sure these skins are going to get people pretty excited. I really like these, actually. They are some of my favorites. There's not really anything else going on here in this image, but we can now take a look at the video. This is only a short 15-second teaser, so bear in mind this is a very, very short little clip. But then we've got the blog to read through as well with some more little details and some pictures. Let's take a look. There it is, Panorama Azuro. Okay. And that's literally it. That is it. Very, very short. So let me just do that again. Get this on the screen. This is literally the size of it. There's nothing else more to see here. Unfortunately, it is very small. We've got a picture of the hotel interior. Interesting. What is that there at the top? Is that a leg? That's just a broken down thing. All right, now we're going to read the blog, and then later on, I'll give you my tips on how I would suggest to tackle next week's trials, which are really important if you want to unlock the final skin color of this trial skin. But first, let's break down this look at the map. Riven Tides Scout Report. So we first saw some little snippets of this in the email newsletter for our creators, and that's all been put together in a single blog with even more information about what the map is going to be, which is dropping in just 10 days, April 28th. So let's read through this together. I want to be honest about how all this started. Shani's been telling stories of an old first wave refuge along the coast, a place we abandoned years ago when there were too many vulnerabilities, exposed to attacks from the water, but trapped there surrounded from the west. I get the sense it hurt them when they had to leave. She told me there was a hotel. That's something akin to an accommodation block. But from what I gather, more a swimming pool, bars, a place where people would dance. Down the coast, a dockyard. It had something to do with the Exodus. She called it a stain on the horizon. Shani's an old head, clearly got some resentment about whatever went down here. I still stand by it. I think Shani's a bad guy. I think Shani's working with the humans that went on the Exodus and went into space. My whole theory is that, you know, that the people who went into space are now calling down the Ark to basically scavenge materials on the Earth and I guess see what they can find. The Ark never really kills us. It just kind of knocks us down, and it's not there for us. We're kind of something that I've noticed. They're there for something else, right? I don't trust Shani, man. I just don't. Anyway, Shani, I said I could have backup, but I told her I didn't need it. It sounded like a good idea, and I thought I'd find a few things for myself along the way. Was only planning on a perimeter sweep, but the place drew me in. There's a story here, one that bleeds out of the cliffs, flows down the dried up riverbed and into the ocean, but the tides just keep bringing it back, like an old grudge. Interesting. So this is what we saw. The first images, we got the Exodus Hotel and a look at the interior. And this is at 1806, this report was made from the scout. The welcome sign was salt worn and peeling, but clear enough. Panorama Azuro. Okay. Inside, it's strange. Posters still hang on the wall. Smashed glasses on the countertops. Beds still made. It's like whoever lived here got up one evening and just never came back. This is giving me like flashbacks to The Walking Dead, you know, when Shane just first wakes up and No, not Shane, Rick. When Rick first wakes up and the whole place is just abandoned, right? And it's just like everyone just stopped living their life that second. So something very crazy went down here. Like everything's on pause. I've been thinking a lot about the rooftop bar, imagining people reveling beneath the stars without fear of what might descend out of them. Okay. Exterior, rear, 1839. So this continues on in the report. I'm in it now, so I decide to press on. The resort wasn't totally abandoned, if you know what I mean, and I don't fancy fighting metal today. So it's saying there's arc here. Passing the pool, I saw a large plastic slope descending from the hill, some kind of water feature, up and over across the ridgeline and down toward the beachfront. Nothing can prepare you for a sunset over the ocean. I stayed here longer than I should have, but come on. Okay, so then we got these images here. We've got the dried up pool and the beachfront and bar. A big hilly area here with a big slip and slide. Without the slip, I suppose, no water's there anymore. Others used to have the same idea. Sun lounges and another bar. These people were celebrating something all right. I snapped myself out of my daze and set my course along the coast. A bad idea, I know. It's too open, too low, but I had to take off my boots just to feel the sand beneath my feet. I listened to the birds and felt the heat of the sun on the back of my neck. Walked like that all the way to the harbor. A pack of wasps brought me back to reality farther down the beach. Okay, so just talking about wasps at the moment. And then we've got another report and a couple more images that we haven't seen yet. Harbor, 1914. So interesting. We had the exterior, the back of the hotel, and also the hotel itself, and also a harbor. It's quite interesting. The docks are something else. Towering cranes, piles of shipping containers, and a seawall encasing it all. It's different from the hotel. Industrial, cold. It's easy to imagine the raiders going wild for a place like this. Plenty of verticality, cover, spaces to cause trouble or disappear into. The signs of flooding too. The tide seemed to have swallowed parts of the dockyard and spat it back out again onto the sand. Dead ships lie wrecked and half buried, while stacks of containers are topped and strewn along the strip. So we've got an image here of the customs house, which seems to be on top of a hill, actually. If we can take a little look at this. So we haven't seen this image yet. Kind of reminds me of like the top of the dam. Maybe like a broken down bridge or something. And then we've got this whole industrial area with shipping containers and stuff. And in the game, it looks like there is a crane operator key note in Italian. So I'm guessing one of the key rooms is going to be a crane operator room in this area. Pretty interesting. So we've got the stacking yard and the customs houses. So we've got two new POIs here alongside the Panorama Azzurro. Pretty interesting. And then it says, hard to believe this was an Exodus port once. Must have taken a small army to staff it up and keep it running. I wonder who they were and what happened to them. Something tells me they weren't exactly living it up at the Azzurro. I was checking one of the buildings when something passed overhead. Just a shadow, slow, deliberate. By the time I got outside, I'd lost it. I just want it on record before anything else happens. Someone needs to come back here properly. Full team, full sweep. Shani was right. She usually is. End of report, coordinates appended, all pictures filed. Awaiting confirmation. So this is interesting. We know there's a large arc coming. And it said, I was checking one of the buildings when something passed overhead. Just a shadow, slow and deliberate. We haven't really had any teasers for the new arc yet, and a large arc would suggest the size of the queen or the matriarch. Could this be our first large flying arc? Potentially, that would be pretty interesting. So we could sort of build a bit of a picture now of the map. Okay, now it's time to look at the final trials for next week. So these are going to be the important ones if you want to try and get the highest rank possible. This is the week that's going to matter, starting next Monday. So pretty close now. We're going to have, as long as it doesn't change, this is subject to change. The devs could change it at any moment. But right now, this is what the devs have scheduled in the game to go live. We've got open arc probes. We've got damaged flying arc enemies inside the spaceport walls. We've got open containers inside the traffic tunnels. We've got damaged fireflies and damaged queens or matriarchs. Now, if you're going for the highest score possible, there's a max score you can get on damaged queens or matriarchs. It's around 16,000, and that is going to be if you get in as soon as possible to the queen or matriarch and just throw about 40-ish wolf packs at it. It's easier to do with a trio, but you've got to get a really good spawn and hope for the best there. So 16k max there. Damaged Fireflies is going to be a new one. So it's going to be interesting to think about what kind of map condition we could do this on. Potentially, we could think about doing it on Hurricane. If we go to the official website now at the top, this is arcraiders.com, by the way. We can go to the map conditions section, and they will have all of the times for the event. So we're going to need to use this to plan out when we do our trials. So definitely stock up on wolf packs. Fireflies, I would honestly suggest bringing seeker grenades and maybe like a Jupiter. Open containers inside the traffic tunnels, that's going to be pretty easy. Like there's going to be a max score you can get, and it's just going to be about getting in there as quickly and efficiently as possible. Maybe we could do a route for that, but it's pretty straightforward. This includes the entirety of the maintenance wing as well. If I show you the map on Metaforge really quick, this does include the entirety of the underground. So this entire area here, all of this counts. It's not just the traffic area. It's like the security wing and the maintenance wing and everything in between. Every single container counts, and that includes cars as well. Arc doesn't count, but everything else does. So if we go back now and take a look at the other trials, damage flying arc enemies inside the spaceport walls. Once again, you're probably going to want to bring a few wolf packs, a lot of energy ammo like a Jupiter. You could bring snitch scanners. Just bear in mind there is a cap. Once you've thrown the first 5 snitch scanners, you got to wait 30 seconds before you can throw another one. And bear in mind that other people might be doing it at the same time as you. There's going to be a lot of competition for these final trials this week, so keep that in mind. If someone else is throwing snitch scanners as you, it is going to share the same global cooldown, so it might screw up your run. I'd honestly suggest trying to just take control of spaceport walls, and you could probably get quite a high score with all the Rocketeers that spawn in. I think if you do like a hidden bunker, if it is next week, there's going to be like 8 Rocketeers kills that you could get by the end of it, and all of the Wasps and Hornets as well. So it's probably a good way to rack up quite a high score. And then we've got open arc probes. Obviously, doing it on Electrostorm makes sense. Probably Spaceport Electrostorm or Dam Electrostorm. And you can have an entire week to get your highest score possible to try and make sure you can maintain your rank and get this new Hotshot skin. Obviously, this is just the final color variant. Just taking part in the trials and getting a lower rank, you'll still get the skin, just a different color variant. I think the red one is pretty awesome. So that's pretty much it. Another news video today, but I think it would be interesting to share. If you'd like me to show you like a full run of all of my trials for next week to give you a kind of like starting point of how I'm going to do mine and maybe how you could think about doing yours, let me know. And I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio.